Hello folks, welcome to WebD 173, which is e-commerce site design. So this course is exactly what you might think, you might be surprised to know that we go in a little more in depth than your traditional Shopify site. So what we're going to be doing this semester is creating an e-commerce project that we hope is portfolio worthy for you, and teaching you all the ins and outs of how payments are processed and how to make sure that your e-commerce site is secure. So this is a course that requires you to have a little bit of knowledge of storage. Storage in general, because when you buy something, generally you put something in your cart. Well, that cart is going to be stored somewhere, and there's many ways to do this. And we'll get into that. So it's a 16-week asynchronous course. It's honestly one of my favorite courses to teach because I find it to be very rewarding, and it's a great way to have a side hustle when you get out of college or when you want to have a full-time job. It's a great way to make money on the side. So we'll be covering everything from organization of products to display of products to search engine optimization. This course is one of the later ones in the program for that reason. It really necessitates that you have a little bit of a background in web. So we do have advisories, which we'll get into, but if you are a fashion student and have that e-commerce requirement, there is now a course for you. It's e-commerce for fashion, and that is where you should be. Unless you want to take this and you actually have the advisory courses necessary, which are basically PHP and HTML. So we'll get into that in the syllabus in a second. In fact, this is the layout of the course. It's typical of probably other Canvas courses that you've taken. If it's your first Canvas course, I think you'll find it very intuitive. Now let's take a look at the syllabus real quick. So my contact information is pretty straightforward. It's ksecor@sdccd.edu, and that is your bat signal. You can always reach me through the message portal on Canvas, through the shell. I'll show you that real quick. If you go to the side nav, you'll see this inbox. You can reach me there. But everything you need to know is in these course pages. So what we're going to be doing is we want you to get to the level where you can not only create an e-commerce site, but be able to create an e-commerce site for different types of clients. In other words, some people sell physical products. Other people might sell digital downloads. They might sell music. They might sell videos. Things like that. And there are many ways to do this. They might have a membership system, a monthly membership system. Those possibilities are all things that are under the umbrella of this course. So we're going to be analyzing clients' needs to develop appropriate e-commerce solutions and then incorporate them into secure websites using either custom databases, which I'll do, or a content management system, which usually a lot of the class uses an open-sourced canned solution for their projects, which is fine. Students will implement best practices as you design the visual interface and develop databases. Now, this is just, I mentioned this technology because it's taught in this curriculum. At the Mesa College Web Development Department, we do a lot of LAMP stack. That's Linux and MySQL PHP. So that's one way to go. But there are many, many other ways to get e-commerce going without PHP and MySQL in addition to that. So we'll be talking about that. So we'll have product catalogs, setting up shopping carts, order payment and fulfillment processes, and of course, security implementation that adheres to current industry standards. So this is one of those that we're going to be all over the road. We're going to be talking about shipping. We're going to be talking about packaging. We're going to be talking about just general security and marketing, branding. There's a lot of things that go on in this course, so be excited for it. I hope you like it. There is no textbook, but there will be assigned reading that I give you. I've always wanted to write a textbook for this course, and I've negotiated with a few companies, so that may happen. But right now, it's going to be a lot of reading and one-on-one sort of delivery of content. The learning objectives are pretty straightforward. I do want you to be able to create database using MySQL PHP, although that may not be what you do for your final project. My late policy, this is important. Each late assignment gets penalized 1 point per day up to a week, at which point it will not be accepted without my approval. Now, you can always ask me for an extension before the due date. If you've had me as a teacher before, you know I do this because I'd rather have good work than rushed work. However, you have to ask me by the deadline. There's a reason for this. I don't want you to get too far behind. I want you to enjoy the work and get the most out of it. So just so you know, each week we'll be doing quite a bit of material. And it's going to be various material. It might be articles. It might be, there will be videos, things like that. So let's talk about week one. Now that we have an idea of what we're going to be doing. There will be an assignment each and every week. There is going to be no quizzes. There will be a final project due. That's the big one, which is your portfolio piece. So this week, what we're going to be doing is discussing what makes a good e-commerce site. We'll look at some of the past work from this course, and then we'll go into the simplest way to sell something right now. And that's a PayPal demo, and I'll also be demonstrating the PayPal sandbox. So that's week one. Now each week will be growing as we go. So like this is going to be a simple demo code demonstration. I'm going to ask that you create a sandbox, which is a place where you can test with fake money. You can test your shopping carts. And there's an assignment 1 this week. This is a brainstorming sketch. So basically, I want you to think immediately about what your course project will be. Now, the requirement is that you have to sell something. That could be anything. I'm very open to suggestion. I do enjoy uniqueness, as I'm sure you guys do. So you have something, a good idea, go for it, run it by me. So what I want you to do is think about things that will help you sell that, including shipping discounts, audience and genre marketing, branding, price anchoring, search functionality, etc. The assignment should be sketched. I'm happy to receive a digital version, but we're not quite there yet, as the wireframe will be due later in the semester. What we're going to be doing is sort of taking the project from this ideation phase right here. We call it ideation, where we're creating ideas. And we're going to have several portfolio pieces that lead up to your final project. And that'll be part of your portfolio website when you go out for a job. And it'll show that you can take a project from start to finish, from when it's in its infancy, which is right now, to the end. So in this assignment, I want you to think about what will go where on the desktop. And I'm fine if you want to scan or take a photo of the sketch and submit it here. But it's basically, think about that. Think about your site. And after you go through all the elements that are in week one, you're going to see some good things about like what makes a great e-commerce site. This thing right here. I'm going to go through a list of a lot of things that make a great e-commerce site. And what you're going to do is think about those things, maybe add to the list, but put those things on a page for your homepage. So you're going to tell me what your product you're going to sell, and it could be several products, and whatever it is. And I want you to if you need help, let me know. But I want you to think about what this would look like as a portfolio piece, and what we're going to do is figure out the best solution for you. In many ways, I'll be the client, and I'll tell you kind of what the best solution is as an instructor. But it starts here. It starts with ideation, and it starts with thinking about what do I want to sell. And this is this introductory discussion is necessary so that you commit to the roster. If you've been to another Mesa course, you know what I'm talking about. All you have to do is introduce yourself here, and then it says you're officially in the course. But back to what I was talking about this first assignment. Think about all the things that make a great e-commerce site. For me, it's search functionality. I'm crazy about search functionality. I used to do search functionality for a living for a while, where all I would do was code searches. And there's many ways to code searches. It doesn't matter where the products are, if it has a database or not. The idea is to give the customer what they want. So this is the list for that video. But I need you to go through this, and I need you to get a good idea of what this does, because you're going to be reusing it. And the PayPal sandbox instructions, I want you to make sure that you create your sandbox. And the homework is due Sunday, end of the week. So this is how a lot of our content is going to be going. We're going to be active and working with specific elements of code. And you will need to get comfortable with this for future assignments. So make sure you don't miss anything. As we grow, we're going to end up going to doing things like instant payment notifications, installing open source shopping carts like OpenCart. As we go further than that, we'll be doing simple shopping carts. We'll be doing model view controllers. So I don't know if you've started looking for work, but you'll notice a lot of employers ask for knowledge of the MVC paradigm. We need to make sure that you are comfortable with that. And as we go through, by the time we reach the midterm, there is no midterm exam, but what's going to happen is you'll create a wireframe of your page, then you'll create a mock-up. We'll have a place where we can review your mock-ups. And then you'll do an updated mock-up based on the review. And moving forward, once we get the mock-up, then we'll start coding. So that's where we're in development stage, and there's a large number of students in this class, and I would say that all of you are going to probably have different ways of approach and different solutions that you're going to use depending on your product line. But we'll figure that out down the road. The important thing right now is to just hang with each week's lessons and always ask me questions when you need to. Okay? So this is kind of cool. In week 2, we'll be doing the Loon check. That's how to verify whether a credit card is a correct number or not. So there's some fun stuff in here, some little ways to hack around and be a little bit sneaky by faking a Loon check. But that's next week. As far as this week, just go through the materials, make sure you create a PayPal sandbox, and then do the week 1 assignment.